We will not meet this character often from our issue of Skibidi, but believe me, he is one of the key antagonists on the entire war. Today, I will tell you what is his main secret, the terrible details of his experiments, and you will learn more about the main villains of the entire universe Skibidi toilet drove. For the first time, the toilet scientist appears in episode 30. We see his robotic glow, and he himself is in the toilet and a lot of black metal, which tells us about his uniqueness and exceptional abilities. For example, the strongest Skibidists also use black metal for their toilets, but that is it. The main force we know that G-Man is riding on the commander of the toilets, but even he understands that ordinary toilets don't have great power and against easily wash them off, realizing that he will not cope with the high-tech developments of against. Only using primitive toilets, he created an underground laboratory for the first time, but we will see the 16th episode where the upper room of this laboratory is clearly visible, and we even notice a character very similar to the Skibidi scientist, but we cannot reliably confirm that is the he who we cannot. At the end of this series, we see the first technological development of the Skibidists, homely the Intel version of the Skibidi Spider, which in the future will serve a prototype of creation of Skibidi giants. But that exactly does this episode give use by the appearance of the laboratory building. It was able to determine its location in the city. It is located in the territory. It's very big westernmost part of this territory, under the control of the against. G-Man tried to locate this laboratory as far possible from the Chamber of Man, so that he know developments of the Skibidists were safe, but this is only its upper part. The scientist himself is already apparent. We can notice that his last development, the Skibidi parasite, crawls out of his mouth and captures this mind of the main chamber. But believe me, this is not an isolated case, because in the corner of this room we notice torture against was Fate events, and we can only guess how many of them he already killed, but they did the Skibidi scientist come from. We all know that the author of the series The Fake Room is a fan of the universe. Skibidi scientist from the character of Dr. Isaac Kleiner, but that do we know about him is a scientific genius and one of the key scientists in the city of Half-Life. He is the main antagonist in the game and plays an important role in the plot external. Dr. Kleiner is an elderly man with white hair, but his true age and the past remain a mystery, accidentally give the impression of a cold-blooded and slightly manipulative person whose actions are motivated by his terrible scientific research. He plays an important role in developing technologies that allow him to maintain control over the city and its inhabitants. Does not resemble anyone, however, his methods and goals can cause controversy and doubts. Everything is very similar to the Skibidists of the scientist who is the main engine of the progress of Skibidist. It is difficult to call the scientist a coward, because he once even appeared on the battlefield, were on the strongest characters in the entire universe Skibidi toilets was located. Normally, the speaker Titan how is supplemented by external control of the Skibidi scientist, and the power that he himself has. Scientists can even be compared with the power of G-Man. In the latest episode of Technology and the scientists of the Against began to work in an enhanced mode because their extents in under threat. So we saw an antidote gun that kills parasites, and most recently saw a new type of Against, the hope of agents, but the technological race has just begun, and the toilet scientist releases new developments every day. So in episode 42 we saw a new toilet scout who stole the lens from Agent A, and the next issue based on this lens. Boyle scientists were able to create glasses that save Skibidi from radiation, but how is it everything will affect the final battle? Just a couple of hours ago we found out that toil scientists created a new type of Skibidi giant. Just look at this spider. It's a spider. It has impressive dimensions, and goggles from studying the man we notice a new Skibidist Rocket Man, who with his assistants tried to kill the Titanium Man, but even the glasses did not help him. After all, it was his strong study that could affect the Skibidist and blow them up at the end of this episode. We notice an affected Titanium Speaker Man, or more often, helicopters boil over him. Without a doubt that the final battle will be on the most striking events in which the development of the scientist Skibidi will become a decisive aspect of the victory in the Skibidist. What do you think? You are the winner from the strange of the agent in the story of a man, Titan, and the development as scientist. We will find out in the coming days.